Every time I visit the desert of Sumeru, it strikes me as a mysterious place. For starters, who is best equipped to deal with desert life? The Eremites based there, or the Academia scholars sent to study King Deshret's civilization? I'd say there's a third answer.
Bags packed and ready to roll.
Sethos was raised in the desert and is privy to many secrets passed down from the age of King Deshret. This is coveted knowledge, but Sethos's electro-powered arrows keep prying eyes well away. As an exceptional outdoorsman, you can count on Sethos's adventuring skills. When Sethos is in your party, the location of resources unique to Sumeru will appear on your minimap, making it easier to gather supplies. Sethos's normal attack can combo up to 3 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage. With a charged attack, Sethos executes a more precise aimed shot that deals increased damage. The shot has different effects depending on how long the charging lasts. At charge level 1, Sethos fires an electro-infused arrow that deals electro damage. At charge level 2, Sethos fires a shadow-piercing shot that can pass through opponents, dealing electro damage to all enemies in its path. Sethos will not be able to move around when shadow-piercing shot is fully charged. After unlocking the talent Black Kite's Enigma, the charging time of Sethos's aimed shot will be reduced for each point of elemental energy he has, up to a certain limit. If he fires a shadow-piercing shot, he will consume the corresponding quantity of elemental energy. If he fires an arrow at charge level 1, only half as much will be consumed. With his elemental skill, Sethos fires concentrated lightning to deal AoE electro damage, then dashes backward. He recovers a set amount of energy if this attack triggers an electrocharged, superconduct, overloaded, quicken, aggravate, hyperbloom, or electro-swirl reaction.
By the sage's wisdom!
With his elemental burst, Sethos uses a secret rite to enter the Twilight Meditation state, which transforms his normal attacks into dusk bolts. Dusk bolts can pass through enemies and deal electro damage to all enemies in their path. Damage dealt is increased based on Sethos's elemental mastery. Sethos cannot use aimed shots while in this state. Dusk bolt damage is considered charged attack damage. The state ends when its duration expires or Sethos leaves the field. Much of King Deshret's wisdom is buried in a sea of sand, waiting to be seized by future sages. After unlocking the talent the Sand King's Boon, Sethos gains the Scorching Sandshade effect, which increases damage dealt by shadow-piercing shots by an amount based on his elemental mastery. The Scorching Sandshade effect is cleared a certain amount of time after the first shadow-piercing shot strikes an enemy, or after a certain number of shadow-piercing shots have hit enemies. The effect is regained after a certain amount of time has passed since the first shadow-piercing shot with Scorching Sandshade has hit an enemy. Desert life is harsh, but with the power of the Sage of Sages, Sethos makes it look like a walk on the beach. Sethos starts off the battle by using his elemental skill to deal electro damage and gain elemental energy. Once he's accumulated some energy, he uses it to reduce the charging time for his shadow-piercing shots and unleash a damaging barrage of piercing arrows. When energy is full, Sethos enters the Twilight Meditation state with his elemental burst and fires dusk bolts to pierce through troublemakers, dealing electro damage and sending would-be intruders packing. From what I understand, Al-Ahmar had 6 loyal followers, but in his own mind, he had 7. Apep certainly did not approve of being numbered among them, but as to what the other 6 thought, we'll never know. I'm sure Sethos would have an interesting take on this if he knew about it. Or perhaps the Temple of Silence does know something, but they're not in a position to speak of it. It's a good thing Sethos is good at keeping secrets. Whoever's will he inherits, he sees it not as a burden, but as a force driving him ever onwards.